and welcome back to another video. I'm Bree.
I'm Brooke.
And we are the Weekly Dose Podcast. So excited to be here today. I really like that from the last video.
Yeah,
it was cute that we did it at the same time. But so today this episode is going to be about mindfulness, as you could tell from the title.
Mindfulness.
So it's important for this video to come out because I feel like being mindful, which we'll get into, but us being aware of our surroundings and what people need and people want and stuff like that, it's very important for us.
Yes, so much.
And I think this is going to be a really good episode.
Oh, dude, it's going to be awesome.
It's actually going to be an interesting episode because, not sponsored, but ChatGPT came out with our outline for this episode of mindfulness.
Did you review it?
No. I did not review it. I said, hey, ChatGPT, hit me up with like an outline for my podcast. And it was like, I got you, girl.
Oh, well, that'll be interesting. I'm personally, I'm really excited about this one because I kind of shared with you behind the scenes, but I feel like a lot of my friends seek guidance from me on mindfulness specifically, which is crazy. I'm a big mental health advocate, and so I think people see me as that. And I'm honored, like for somebody to be like, hey, like I want to take my mental health a little more serious. Do you have, like, what would you suggest for me as a person?
Yeah.
And just because I know them on a personal level and I can help them implement those different changes in their life and just being more observant. It's really cool. Cause like even today, one of my friends was dealing with a lot of stuff and I was like, I don't know where you are mentally right now, but
yeah,
I think these two specific things will help you. And I'll talk about those things individually later. But just being mindful in different situations that we have to deal with on a daily basis really changes things.
Yeah.
And stop me if I get too ranty, but I was thinking about this on the way home, knowing that this episode's going to be mindfulness, and one of the like notes that I have of like methods of mindfulness, I'm not sure what the episode's going to call for, but I have it.
And to be clear, I don't know what the episode is called for either. I kind of just was like, I'm going to screenshot it and then I'll review it the time of the episode so that it'll just be there, authentic, not rehearsed, just our full selves.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know what this episode contains. I don't know what this episode contains. I haven't read it.
Spooky.
And I've heard that ChatGPT can be kind of crazy.
Kind of. But so I was thinking, like, on my way home I'm really downloading something in my spirit right now, and I don't exactly know what that is. I think I'm in the process, but I'm being mindful of it. I think even just acknowledging it is a big thing. So over the last 2 weeks, and I'll talk about this later, but music is a big thing for me, to practice mindfulness.
Yeah.
So last week, I do this thing where whenever I start feeling something, I change what music I'm listening to. And so before, like while I was in church, it was got like worship music and stuff like that. Now it's more like music scores where it's just orchestral music. Things that I love specifically this past week has been the entire Harry Potter franchise music.
Like an orchestra? Wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's really like it just opens things.
Yeah.
And so it allows you to not think. It allows, in my head, it allows for you to shut up and get out of the way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that about worship music. Shut up and get out of the way. And that's how I used to think.
Wow.
But this week are like starting, I would say like Thursday of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Silence. I've been listening to nothing.
Wow.
Which is even crazier. And regardless of how the episode goes, this is definitely something I want to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I should just go ahead and touch on. No. Should I just go ahead and touch on it?
Do you want to dabble in it and then?
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the main points that I really wanted to talk about today, regardless of whatever the episode calls for, and if it calls for it in a little bit, then we'll talk about it. But the world is so loud.
Mm-hmm.
The world is demanding. The world is selfish. I think that it's very important for you to put yourself first in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And today that really hit.
Yeah.
Dealing with whatever I'm dealing with. And it's not my stuff to share, so I don't really want to talk about it on here. But I think what really hit me was the world is so loud. The world is demanding.
Mm-hmm.
The world is selfish and possessive. And so I think the world really captures your attention.
Yeah.
I want to say unintentionally, but it's very intentional for the world.
Mm-hmm.
Unintentional for you. But I think it's important for us to be mindful, especially in this time of our lives, because everything that we have in our lives demands our attention, and we don't give ourselves attention.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, so I think kind of transitioning back to what I was talking about earlier is like I have like a 20-minute drive to and from work, and I have not been listening to any music. I've been alone with myself.
Just quietness.
Just quiet. Just alone in the quiet. And one of the methods, I have an ADHD brain, ADD. I have thoughts running through my brain every minute, every second, every millisecond at 10,000 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
It never stops. But I've been intentional about making that time, that drive, dead silent. And so I will audibly shush myself if my thoughts begin to race.
Mm-hmm.
I audibly shh.
Kinda
until
bring it back. Bring it back to yourself.
Yeah.
So you can like stop.
Yeah. So if there are thoughts that are overwhelming, I audibly shush myself and I push those thoughts aside. It is incredibly difficult.
I bet.
But as long as you're mindful with it, it is doable.
Mm-hmm.
And I let whatever my spirit's trying to download.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't know what that is yet. I'll find out soon.
Yeah.
You know, I just have to trust my intuition, my spirit, and just know there's something coming in.
Yeah.
And it's I need to be intentional about setting silent time for that to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, that gives a good a takeoff to what this episode is going to bring. It might be a little longer episode than what we normally do for 40 minutes ish, but we'll probably take this a little longer just so we could get all the key points that we want to hit.
Yeah.
And see what ChatGPT leads us, because you never know. Mindfulness is such a big important thing it should be to everybody, and
I think a lot of people don't know what it is.
Yeah, and
they aren't aware of it.
And we're gonna touch on that. So let's get into this. I have all of my notes on my phone. All right, so we're gonna move into the segment of getting into the script for what ChatGPT threw at me. So firstly, I want Brooke to explain mindfulness and why it's important in our daily life.
Yeah.
So I want definitions of mindfulness for the viewers and listeners to know exactly what mindfulness is, because like you said, quite a few people don't really know what it is. So Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have 3 different definitions for us. So we have the psychological definition. Mindfulness is the awareness that arises from intentionally focusing on the present moment without judgment, and involves accepting one's thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they are. We have the clinical definition. In psychology and therapy, mindfulness is used as a cognitive and behavioral tool to improve mental well-being. It is often defined as paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally.
Kind of like what you were explaining, like how your mindfulness of those thoughts in your head and shushing them.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. So then we have our everyday definition. Mindfulness is the practice of slowing down, noticing details, and appreciating the present rather than being lost in thoughts about the past or future.
Yeah, so that goes good with, like, our next step is to share a personal anecdote about how mindfulness has helped you recently, which you just shared a really good one. And for me, it's about slowing down and being more aware of my mental health. I've been struggling a little lately with my mental health, and I think just slowing down and pinpointing out what is causing me to have bad mental health days.
Without being judgmental toward yourself.
Yeah, without being so harsh to myself, and just reassuring myself that I'm loved and I'm safe and stuff like that. I don't know if this is going to go more into it or not, but like recently I've been dealing with wanting to self-harm again, and that being mindful into knowing that that's what I want to do, and taking time to just slow down.
Recenter yourself.
Don't do that. You're okay. You're calm. That type of thing. I think just being mindful to that has been my type of thing lately. Just calming down.
That's so important.
Yeah.
And that really shows that you're growing in your mental health journey.
Yeah. I think so. If you would have asked me a couple of months ago, I probably couldn't do that.
No.
Not at all.
I did ask you to do that.
Yeah. And I definitely couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next step is, could you define mindfulness in simple terms and discuss its benefits? So you could break down maybe some of those.
Not methods of mindfulness.
No.
But so like what our definition is, kind of.
Yeah, kind of break it down into layman's terms. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Do you want me to go, or do you have something?
I want you to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, mindfulness is just being intentional about what you do every single day. So one of the things that my counselor has really helped me with is being mindful about being intentional throughout my day. And so what that looks like for me is I have an alarm that goes off at 5:15 in the morning, and that's like my cue to like start waking up.
Yeah.
So then I have another alarm that goes off at like 5:30 to, okay, well, you start opening your eyes, like it's okay to like get up. This is like my deep thinking, like prepare yourself for the day. So then I have another alarm to begin getting ready, another alarm that says, okay, wrap things up, and then another alarm that says you need to be walking out of the door. So it's intentional about being on time to work.
Yeah.
Which I'm really bad at. So, but I think and it goes even further. So throughout my day, I have to be mindful of what my attention is going to. So like I kind of talked about earlier, it's like I'm really ADD, ADHD. I have 1,000 things going through my brain at all times. And that never stops. So I have to shush myself, of course. But what I do is I have to, if I go to work and I get there, I make sure that I put my phone in a drawer. This thing is incredibly demanding.
Yeah.
And will break mindfulness.
Yeah.
This is a breaker, man. And I've noticed that with me being mindful and putting it in a drawer when I get to work, I get so much more done. So much more done.
Yeah.
And because I'm not like just checking my phone, because I do manage the Facebook for work. So naturally I'm like, oh, let me click on Facebook. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate that I have to have Facebook for work. But like after an hour or so, I make sure that I move myself on to the next task. Like if that task that I'm on is taking too long, let's just say it's like generating content for social media for that week. If it takes longer than an hour, I'm closing that task out. I'm putting it to the side and underneath my pile, and I'm moving on to the next task. That way I'm always moving forward.
Yeah.
And never stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
So when I get home, my winding down routine, I try to not get on my phone immediately when I get home, because that's automatically what people do.
Yeah.
Like social media statistics tell you, like 5:30 to 8:30, people are scrolling.
Yeah.
Tremendously. That is the most active time on all social media platforms. That, and then like you have like the later like X and TikTok. Those are more viewed like 8 to 9.
Yeah. Later in the day when they're like in bed scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and I love that I have that knowledge. That knowledge scares me.
Yeah.
And I think, and maybe that's where I'm mindful also, is like knowing that information, those analytics that I do, I make sure that I'm not part of the statistics. You know? So one of my mindful routine for going to sleep is to think about my day, how it went, what was good, what was bad, what could I have done better, and then just appreciate the good things that happened that day, no matter how bad of a day I had.
Yeah.
Just because I'm naturally pessimistic. You wouldn't know it, but I am. But naturally I'm like, oh, today was a really crappy day. And I let it consume me.
Yeah.
So I'm being mindful to accept that it was a crappy day, but not all of it was crappy.
Yeah.
If I'm honest to myself, not all of it was crappy. I got to see my favorite people. I got to eat my favorite food.
Yeah. Maybe 25% of it was crappy, but the other 75% was good.
Yeah.
But you take that 25% and you're like,
and you let it's like rotten fruit. Like you just
Yeah.
let it rot and infest your day. Don't let it do that. Be intentional about it. So my favorite wind down is to lay in bed. And I have a rule, like I don't like scroll in my bed. I have to be in the living room. That's intentional. Unless it's like a quick, make sure nobody has messaged the Facebook page.
Yeah.
For work. Because I'm responsible for answering that. But so I lay there and I make sure I close my eyes and I listen to the sounds around me after I do my mindfulness. So for the day, I'm like, after I go through the day. So then I'm intentional about feeling every part of my body. So I listen to the sounds. My eyes are closed. That removes one of your 5 senses. So you can only focus on sounds, feelings.
Yeah.
No taste. No touch, technically. I guess you could feel touch, but and then I start from my toes and I just loosen every muscle in my body until I'm completely relaxed. And then I'm intentional about, okay, am I smelling things? Am I hearing the ceiling fan squeaking or whatever?
Yeah.
And then that allows me to fall into a very good sleep.
Really?
Consistently.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That, I will say, like, that reminds me of an exercise I used to do with my old therapist. Like, every time I got into her room, she would have me start from my toes and make my way up to my head with just loosening up my muscles and just calming my body.
It's so nice because you have... until you do that, until you're intentional about saying my toes, my ankles, my entire foot, my calf muscles,
my shin,
my knees, my hips, my thighs, my stomach, my buttocks, my back, my shoulders, my neck, hands, wrists, my neck, my skull, like my jaw.
Yeah.
Until you hit every one of those checkpoints, you have no idea how much tension you are holding in your body.
Yep.
How much anger you're holding in your body. Until you let that all go, at the end of the day, you're a different person.
Yeah,
I'm so serious.
That's a real good, a really good routine for our listeners. If you're listening to this, do that type of exercise either during the night or when you first wake up. Either
when
way,
you first wake up is good
it'll
too.
start your day off so good.
Yeah.
Or throughout the day, if you're like tensed up at your desk, or if you're just sitting on the couch, get up, move, relax your muscles, do the exercise. It literally takes 5 to 10 minutes.
5 minutes maximum.
Yeah.
Really. Depending on how long you want to take.
And you could do some breathing exercises as well while you do it. And oh my gosh, it just, something about it.
It really
something about
lifts a weight off of you, for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Especially in those places where you're just not aware.
Like, holding a lot of tension in your jaw. Like, I tend to do that.
My jaw, my shoulders.
Yeah.
Another one is my hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have a lot of pain in my hands, and so and I guess maybe that's years of like playing an instrument or just using them.
Yeah.
I have a lot of pain in my hands, and so I just like being intentional about
relaxing them,
each finger, like just really relaxing. I highly suggest, if you try it, let me know, because I love success stories, like especially for things like this. I'm really interested. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, I think that answers it.
I kind of lost the question.
It was to define mindfulness in simple terms, and I think you did that.
Yeah. I feel like maybe I didn't. I don't know. Let me know.
All right. So the next one is bring in an example, maybe a famous study or a relatable analogy.
We kind of just did that.
Yeah, we kind of already did that. I didn't bring any famous study. I guess I should have looked this over, but I feel like real life stuff is better than a study. Like being able to hear like real life stories between me and her is kind of better because it's more real. I mean, studies are real. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, like,
you know us.
Yeah, y'all know us. But it says here, so mindfulness is like training a muscle.
Yes.
And that's such a good analogy because that kind of helps you see mindfulness in a way that it's not something that you do. You can't just do it overnight. It's something that you have to kind of work yourself there. Yeah. Like working yourself to be happy.
Be intentional.
You have to be intentional, and you have to work to do that.
And you will never, ever be mindful without being intentional. You have to be intentional or you'll never recognize it.
Yeah. This says, let's discuss micro mindfulness techniques. So how would you define mindful eating?
That's actually my first one.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay. So mindful eating.
Yeah.
That's what I'm so glad this came up. Was this one of your things?
Yeah.
Or that was one of chat.
It was ChatGPT's, but it's my thing.
Okay. So I'll be quick about it so that you can talk too. So for me, mindful eating is being cautious or intentional about what you're eating, what's going into your body.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Because a lot of food like makes you sick.
Yes.
And a lot of food's really good, you know. So for example I started watching Harry Potter the other day. But for example, I know that I'm going to feel like shit every single time that I eat Jack in the Box.
Yeah. Or
And
Taco
yet-
Bell.
No, I never have an issue with Taco Bell. I would never talk trash.
Everybody has an issue with Taco Bell.
Not me. Not me. I will eat Taco Bell every day. I wish we had a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But so I know, and I try to stay away from fast food if I can.
Yeah.
Like if I can afford it that month, sometimes it's just easier for me to go get fast food than it is for me to cook for one person.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, groceries are expensive.
Yeah.
But being mindful eating.
Yeah.
If you know that it's going to make you feel, if your body feel like shit, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you think, oh, maybe this time will be different.
Mm-hmm. Most
And-
of
and
the
that-
time it's not.
And listen, and that statement can be used across a multitude of realities.
Yeah.
It's not going to be different the second time or the third time or the
Yeah.
fourth time.
Yeah.
Just be mindful. So,
Well,
Yeah,
that-
so
I'm
that's-
so glad that you're able to talk on that. That's kind of the same thing that I was gonna say. Is you have to be intentional in what you put in your body. Your
mhm.
body's your temple, and you want to treat it well, and you don't want to keep getting it sick, and you don't want to, walk all over it and just think, oh, well, let
just
me
beat
just
it up. Yeah.
let me just eat this shitty food just
Mhm.
because it's there. But anyway,
As I drink my strawberry
So-
mango nata slush.
yeah. So we've already talked about doing like deep breathing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Mindful walking. This is something that I just recently talked to my therapist about 2 weeks ago. Was getting out of the house. I am a stay-at-home wife. I don't have a job. My job is to be a cake decorator, but I do that part-time, and it's just not all the time type of deal right now. So I'm a stay-at-home wife. I clean the house, and that's all I do. Besides play Minecraft for hours. But anyway,
Hours.
I was telling her that my Minecraft has been helping my creative freedom and kind of getting my brain out of a fog and stuff like that. And she was like, but it sounds like you need to get out of the house.
You need some vitamin D.
Yeah. You need some vitamin D. You need to get out of the house. Whether it's a 5-minute walk around your house, outside, as long as you sit in the sun, you could just stand in the sun. Just
We photosynthesize.
hear the, yeah.
That's me being a flower.
Just hearing the sounds surrounding you and just pointing out, using
my
your
favorite
senses. Just use your senses without your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Just take 5
Leave it
minutes.
inside.
Yeah, leave it inside. Just take 5-10 minutes a day. Go outside. Take a walk. And it's just, you get fresh air. And it's so
love
nice.
it. So, I live in an apartment complex on the second floor, so I don't really have like a place to like walk that's safe.
Yeah.
But I do that. So my version is whenever I go to leave in the morning for work, most of the people in the apartment complex have already left.
Mm-hmm.
So I stand on my balcony and I listen to all the birds.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And I look for like squirrels, or I look for where the birds are coming from. The smells, the temperature, like I notice all of those things.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts of the day.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
And it's back to the micro mindfulness.
Yeah.
It only lasts maybe 2.5 minutes for me.
Yeah.
But that 2.5 minutes sets the tone for my whole day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you start off peaceful, and it kind of eases into the day.
Mhm.
And it kind of helps you, like, you're not so hectic. So,
Mhm.
like, if something does come up where it's, like, a bad thing or a problem thing, you don't, like, hit it forcefully, and you don't just automatically.
And it's awesome. So I do that for, like, 2.5 to 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get to get in my car for another 20 minutes.
And have a quiet drive.
And I can either have a quiet drive or I can have a crazy, chaotic drive.
Yeah.
Depends on what I'm listening to.
Yeah. So, I would say that...
Just respect your surroundings. Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah. So I would say that kind of discusses we kind of describe micro mindfulness in a lot of different ways that can help you viewers and listeners out there. How would one incorporate mindfulness into a busy schedule, which I think we already touched on because you have a lot of a busier schedule than I do. I can do it throughout the day at any point, at any time.
Mm-hmm.
For you, you have times that you have to be, what's the word?
Intentional.
Yeah, intentional about.
Intentional is the word of the day.
Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. But being intentional with how you put your mindfulness throughout your day is kind of how you make your busy schedule work for you. And I know she has a regular 8 to 5
Mm-hmm.
job, and then sometimes photography, sometimes graphic design, sometimes other things.
Literally anything creative.
Yeah, sometimes that overcomes her weekends. It overcomes her week throughout the whole entire week. Really, every single day. It's like a 24/7 job.
Yeah, it really is. So, I kind of talked about being intentional on the tasks that you have for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's important to be intentional about being organized first. I think that's the first step. Second step is to then, so my system that I have set up at work is awesome, dude.
Really?
I love myself for it. It's fantastic. And nobody else understands. But on my desk, I have a stack of manila folders. All of them are labeled with super cute fonts that I have hand drawn myself. But so what I do is every day they go in order. So I'll start, and the first one's like social media or content, and then the next one. So what I do is as soon as I clock in, I open that first folder. I look at my list, see what I need to create for that week, and then I schedule the post out.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. So then after that's done, I move on to the next folder. And the next folder may be something that I don't need to touch on till the end of the week or another day. So, for example, the 75th anniversary celebration, that's not something I need to touch on every single day, but I need to put my eyes on it every single day. That's mindfulness.
Wow.
So it stays at the forefront of my file folders in my head.
Yeah.
So regardless of if I need to do something for it or not, I open that folder, I look at it, I close it, move it off to the side, move on to my next topic.
Wow.
It's awesome. So then at the end of the day, I make sure that at some point I look through all of those folders.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably 8 that I regularly rotate. There's a stack of 25 off to the side, but 8 that I currently have like just regularly rotating. So then at the end of the day, I close them all, I set them back onto the side, and then when I come in the next morning, I redo it again.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome.
That sounds amazing.
It's awesome.
It sounds like a good way to kind of help organize. Like you said, organizing is so important as well to kind of stay on track.
I think I can really credit, oh man, I don't remember what her name was. I used to be friends with her on Facebook, but I don't think I am. Michelle? I think. I took over her position at Brown. And so whenever I got hired on there, she had set aside every single day had a different task.
Wow.
So, and it was awesome. She really helped kickstart my professional organization.
Yeah.
So she had, every day was a different day. So we worked 3 months in advance for something that was going to happen in the future. Yeah. So I would be working, so what's March now? I'd be working on July.
Yeah.
So at this time, if I was still working there. So every day, like Mondays, designing. Tuesdays, I had Rotary, and then more designing. Wednesdays, submit newspaper designs for approval. Thursday, I'd get those back, and then I would email them to the newspapers on Friday and collect invoices and submit those. Yeah. It was awesome. It was the most laid out thing. And of course, every month had so the first week A, week B, week C, week D, week E. It was Oh, awesome.
Wow.
I love it so much, and I
Yeah.
still use that system to this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great that you had somebody to kind of
It's-
preset it up for you, but
that's
you
awesome.
made it your own whenever you transitioned jobs.
Mhm.
I mean, because
I took that knowledge with me. I was like, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, it's like it's a complete different job. So like
Mhm.
being able to incorporate that.
She
cool.
went to school for event planning, not
Mm.
marketing. So I took her event planning brain,
Yeah,
and
you have to be very organized in that.
I plugged it into marketing,
Yeah.
and it's been amazing for me.
Wow. We've kind of hit home on a lot of these topics so far. And so I want to jump into It's Not That Deep. I don't
I
know
only
what kind of
have-
noise that was.
Oh.
So I went on Facebook earlier today and I posted this video.
I still haven't seen it, so
And I wanted people to ask questions so I could
Oh!
ask Brooklyn.
before we say that, doesn't she look so cute with her bangs? She just cut them.
I cut them.
She cut them after that video.
I did. I cut them after the video. I was kind of feeling like, I'm going to change things and fuck
She
everybody who
is-
thinks that it's ugly. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah. She looks so cute in bangs. They're so good.
Thank you.
They're so
Thank you,
bouncy.
thank you.
Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
they just like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
makes me want bangs.
No, don't do it.
My hair's too thin for it. I could never.
All right. So we have quite a few questions here.
Oh, no.
So
Oh, God. I'm sweating.
don't sweat. This one says, ask Brooklyn if she remembers our time at drum major leadership camp when we stayed in the dorms together and what exactly she remembers. Laughing face from Jennifer.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I remember a lot, but I also know that I'm going to be missing some stuff. Oh, man. That was so fun. That was so fun. Did I pee myself? I feel like I peed myself. Somebody scared me, I think.
Oh no.
I don't remember. There have been so many places where I've gotten, like, people have intentionally scared me and I've just peed everywhere.
Oh my god.
Ask
Jamie.
Jamie Nations. She's hilarious. Goodness. I remember that was my senior year in high school. Gosh, Jennifer, that was over 10 years ago. Jennifer is the best. I love her so much. First of all, I just need to rant because she's awesome.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
I miss hanging out with her
Yeah.
like so much, and I think about her all the time. Like, I think about you all the time. Not in a creepy way, I promise. But I'm so proud of her and how far she's come.
For real.
Like,
she is thriving
Yeah.
and she's gorgeous and oh my gosh.
Like, I used to be best friends with her. Not to brag or anything, but
oh my
kind of
gosh.
bragging.
She was
Like,
she
we
was
used
always
to-
so sweet.
We used to sit on the that band hall floor, and because we had like a teach class together, and we would don't kill me. We would manage all of her Carrie Underwood fan pages.
I love that so much. I forgot she was obsessed with Carrie Underwood. Oh my god.
Yeah, so like every day she would have pictures that she would like post to
Yeah.
like her Instagram pages, and then she would like copy all the hashtags, and there was a million hashtags, and she had a specific document on her phone with all these hashtags saved.
Oh my god.
And so she would be like, which one should I post? But
I
Jennifer,
love
you're
that.
gonna have to fill me in on exactly what I am not remembering from drum major camp. I remember it being a good time. I feel like I remember I peed myself. I don't remember. Who all went with? We did get cute shirts made. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'm dumb. The cute shirts we got made, like they said lieutenant the first year, and on the back we put the year, like, but it was like the shortened year, so it was like 14.
Yeah.
And I submitted the design and the lady didn't fix it because I'm freaking stupid. And I had put, you know, like whenever you do the 14, you're supposed to put like the little apostrophe 14. I put the apostrophe after 14.
Oh no.
and they didn't catch it. And they printed the shirts that way. So we walked around with 14 apostrophe on the back of the shirt.
Well, I have a few more questions, so we're going to have to move on
Okay.
so we don't get too long into this. Favorite childhood memory? Yikes. Yikes, Jennifer.
Favorite childhood memory? Oh, they all were awful.
I would say, like, for me, my favorite time was when your friends came over.
I had friends.
Yeah.
Favorite childhood?
Yeah, like, I don't really have, like, a favorite
Dude.
childhood memory. But, like, my favorite time was when your friends would come over to the house.
I did have friends.
Yeah, you did have friends.
They were cool.
Yeah.
They were all cool.
And they thought that I was nice.
Yeah.
And they were all nice to me. And I thought that that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But my childhood sucked.
Yeah. Our childhood sucked. But I will say my favorite childhood memory would probably be hold on. Side memory that just popped up. Side memory. This is not my favorite memory. Side memory. And I'll try to say this really fast. I was probably 3 or 4.
Where is this going?
Hold on. It's great. You're going to love it. 3 or 4. And my mother was having an Avon party at our house. Okay? Me and Brianna were told, go to your bedroom and play. So we were. And like a good kid, I was playing. And my favorite thing is to make Brianna laugh. That's probably my favorite childhood memory is making Brianna laugh.
Mr.
Fisty. Anytime I upset her, I would punch myself in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mr. Fisty is here. Was she mean to you?
Yeah.
And she loved it. And it worked. It made her not cry and tell on me.
Yeah.
But back to this thing. So I wanted to make her laugh because she was upset we had to go into the bedroom. We wanted to be out there with the adults. And play with makeup.
Yeah.
So we had bunk beds at the time. Who has bunk beds for a 4-year-old, first of all? That's crazy. So I'm like, Brianna, watch this. And I start to try and climb up the ladder backwards. I'm stupid. Okay, so I am trying to like crab walk up the ladder backwards as a tiny human. And I end up not doing it. I ended up falling face first into the wall. And I mean like, boom! And I like, big old bump on my head. Awful. Highly suggest not doing that. Ouch. And it was the best thing ever. I started crying, and maybe it was a tactic that I had at that point. Maybe I gaslit everybody. I have no idea. So then they let me go out there and put makeup on me.
They were like, let's cover up that bump with that Avon makeup.
Oh, it was bad. Maybe that's what they did, because it was bruised and it was like bumpy. Like
that is too funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say my favorite childhood memory is making Brianna laugh.
I love that. A favorite sister moment together?
All of them.
I would say like a most recent one was when we went to the Color Factory in Houston. I was just gonna
say that.
I feel like we haven't done this much, but it was kind of like when we were trying to like get back together and rebond. And we went to the Color Factory. We went to Houston for the day. Was it for something? Or no, we just wanted to take a trip out there. So we did, and we went to the Color Factory.
We made t-shirts. We made hoodies.
Yeah, we made these cute, like...
Pop a picture of us there.
And it was just so great, and it was so fun. And
the Color Factory was kind of boring.
Yeah, it was boring for, like...
It was
but
fun.
It was fun seeing the different things.
Yeah.
And seeing how creative people are with, like...
avoid the ball pit if you go as an adult.
Please, avoid the ball pit. It smells like nasty
Insert
feet.
video.
It smells like feet. Oh gosh.
That's my favorite video of all time.
I hate you. All right.
I would say that's also my favorite sister memory, like a recent one.
Yeah.
My other favorite one is we went to a concert just recently. Insert photo. We looked so cute and hot. And I never say that, but I looked cute.
You were smashing, dude.
Oh yeah.
You smashing.
Yes. I probably
Fucking
got
beautiful.
smashed.
Okay. We're gonna move on.
It was awesome.
We're gonna move on. Something you like that most people don't / guilty pleasure.
Dark chocolate.
I love dark chocolate. Oh my gosh.
A lot of people don't.
That's insane to me.
Me too.
What?
You please
what
tell me
is
you
wrong
want to
with-
eat a pound of sugar. That's what you're doing whenever you eat milk chocolate. I love dark
I
chocolate because
hate-
it's a little
I
bitter,
hate milk chocolate.
just like me.
A little bitter, just like you. I love that. So to
Yeah.
finish up this segment, do you still have a fear that you've had since childhood? How does that look today?
I do.
Fear of abandonment.
Fear of abandonment, fear of not being loved,
Yeah.
even by myself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like crazy fear. And it stems from childhood.
Yeah.
Because of, and we've kind of touched on this in previous episodes, but because I wasn't loved growing up
Yeah.
or never felt loved, I have an innate fear of abandonment and just never finding love
Yeah.
or feeling loved.
Yeah. That's good.
Alrighty.
So moving into the ending segment for this, ChatGPT put us
Woo.
together some more segments, which we've kind of discussed already. Why would you say people struggle with mindfulness?
Because they're not intentional about it.
That's
Or they're uneducated about how beneficial it can be.
good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That is good. You've touched on this one. It says share practical tips to stay consistent and make it a habit, which you've shared your personal life with us, which we're so grateful for because that gives the viewers and listeners a real version of how they can be intentional with this process.
Yeah.
Offer a personal story about overcoming a challenge with mindfulness.
I feel like I've kind of talked about that.
Yeah. Let's see. This says issue a simple mindfulness challenge for the week. This is good. I'm gonna say this one. Take one mindful breath before checking your phone.
That's good.
Yeah. Just breathe.
Mhm.
Just breathe for a minute before looking at your phone.
That's really good. If you like take just a minute to look up some mindful breathing techniques, there are so many awesome techniques. And definitely I personally challenge you to try a few methods like during your day tomorrow and see which one works the best for you. Which one like really centers you the most.
I also want to pop up a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method for anybody who wants to take a screenshot or write this down real quick. It's about your senses and how you can 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 it.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's worked for me and I'm pretty crazy. So if this helps anybody, I'd like to share it with y'all. So if you want to comment down below and share y'all's experiences with mindfulness. We're interested in maybe learning more of being mindful that might help us more. Anything that we could share, we'd love to. If you have questions on it, we'd love to answer in the next episode or whichever we get to faster. But I know that Brooke has one last topic that she wants to talk about before we end the episode, and I think it's a good overall closing concept for us to talk about.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Okay, so what I kind of want to talk about is mindfulness in relationships or and not just romantic relationships, but your relationship with others.
Yeah.
Like I've said throughout this whole episode, the theme really here is being intentional about the things that you do.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things that I'm intentional about is knowing or being aware of the 5 love languages.
Oh, okay.
And really, I could really talk about that in a whole episode.
I would love that. I would love to do a whole episode on those.
So, yeah, I definitely, yes. Sign me up. I'll be there. Here anyway.
You have no choice.
So, I'm really intentional about, like, if I can't recognize the love languages of my friends, and if you guys aren't familiar with love languages, there are 5. And it's, oh God, they're so awesome.
And if you want to take the test, I'll put that test in the link in the description box down below, because it'll take like 5 minutes to do. It's quite a few questions that they ask you. You have affirmations, acts of kindness, or acts of goodness.
Yeah, that's what I'm pulling up right here. So we'll drop a link. I would love for you to take a moment, do the test, let us know what your love languages are, so that I can be like, oh, I know their love language. And so basically what a love language is how you perceive love, how you feel loved. So, for example, Oculus Reparo. For example, my love language is quality time and physical touch, depending on who it is. Yeah. It's not physical touch for everybody. Yeah. Believe me. But I guess in return, or if it's not physical touch for that person, then it's going to be words of affirmation. Yeah. So I'm intentional about knowing those 5 love languages. I'm going to share those. Words of affirmation. Expressing love through spoken or written words. Things like, I love you, I am proud of you, and you mean so much to me. Acts of service, one of hers. Yes. Showing love through helpful actions like chores, running errands, or making life easier for the other person, cooking a meal, fixing something, helping with a task. Her. Yes. Her love languages are quality time and acts of service. No, gift giving is mine. Well, you speak in gift giving. I do speak in gift giving. You're right. Yeah, you speak in gift giving. For sure. Yeah. Receiving gifts. Giving and receiving meaningful gifts is a way to express love. A surprise gift, a handwritten note, something small that shows you're thinking of them. That is the bottom of the list for me. Yeah. I don't love getting gifts unless they're from you, because they I was about to say they do mean a lot to me. Yeah. Because you're so intentional about like what the gifts are. Yeah. Like, for example, she gave me a new Oracle deck today, and that's something that I cherish, and yeah. I love it. I love it so much. And you were intentional about that. Yeah. Number 4 is quality time, spending meaningful, undistracted, no phones, time together. Activities, deep conversations, being present with one another, date nights, long walks, shared experiences. And then there's physical touch. And this is not like cuddling or anything like that. Yeah. It can be if you're with your partner, but it's going to be more of like hand on the shoulder, touching your hand, shaking your hand, sitting close to you, things like that. Or a long hugs. I love hugs. Yeah, you do. I love hugs. Specifically from certain people. Certain hugs. Yeah. I do love hugs. Yeah. So what I really wanted I just noticed there's a huge difference there. Which is good. So what I really, don't you look at my notes? What I really wanted to talk about with this specifically is being intentional about the time that you're spending with your people. Whether it's a romantic partner, whether it's a colleague or a friend. Really think about or be mindful of the situation. Yeah. Be mindful of the topics that are talked about. Their body language. If they're feeling uncomfortable in the conversation, you can be mindful and recognize that. And that way you can shift the conversation without it being awkward. Yeah. I think eye contact. Oh, My other favorite thing, and maybe I got it from Gilmore Girls. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it's Gilmore Girls. Yeah. You'll be able to tell me. So whenever I'm having a moment that I want to remember, like with another person, I'm like, mental snapshot.
Oh, okay.
What is that from?
What is that from? I don't think it's Gilmore Girls. I don't remember them doing that.
It's The Office.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pam's
they're like, they take the little photos together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's The
So
Office.
I do that.
Okay.
I love it. So I've got a couple. Some of them are loaded to the Spank Bank.
Spank Bank? I hate you.
I'm so sorry. But I think another really important thing here is comfortable silence. Sorry. That wasn't silence. I think another important thing here is comfortable silence. Are you comfortable? Me too.
Yeah.
I think it's so important. It's so,
to be fair, we can be sitting on the couch for hours and not say a single thing.
That is comfortable silence. You're okay and you're but it's being mindful that it's comfortable silence. Not that you're just sitting on the couch being quiet, playing a game or scrolling or reading a book, whatever.
No,
it's being mindful that that's comfortable silence.
Yeah,
you're comfortable in that silence.
Whenever we do that type of silence, I always think to myself, like, while we're in that zone, I'm like, I know that we're both comfortable right now, and I want to keep the peace. This is nice peace.
Yeah,
this is good peace.
It's comforting. It's like it's so comfortable knowing that you don't have to put on a show.
Yeah,
and that you don't have to entertain somebody. Like,
I know, just take a break.
I know that if you're coming over to my house, I don't have to entertain you. Yeah. I like to. Yes, because I'm dramatic. But I know that if you come over just to sit on my couch, I'm going to love every second of it. Yeah. And I think that's important for somebody to be mindful of that with their people. Yeah. Their person. If you're uncomfortable sitting in silence with somebody, rethink it. Yeah. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people who can't stand being in silence with their partners, and so, going back to what I said at the beginning of this episode, they drowned out that silence with the world. Yeah. Whether that be scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube videos, playing video games.
I think that's my favorite time with Lewis is just when we can just chill on the couch, not have a conversation.
That's because he's dumb.
No. Throwing shade. Oh. But I would say that my favorite time with Lewis is when we're just chilling with no distractions, or if we have a movie on or whatever, just laying on him and hearing him breathe. It calms me down so much.
It actually scientifically does. Yeah. So your brain is flooded with a bunch of chemicals. Whenever you're with your person. I was also going to say just sitting in silence, just laying on him. Yeah. Listening to his heartbeat. Matching our breathing. Yeah. Love doing that. Yeah. That's my favorite thing. I'm like, we're meant to be. We're meant to be. Well, I'm struggling to breathe at the same time. Yeah. We're meant to be. Why isn't he exhaling? Is he holding his breath? I don't know why he's doing it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I do the same thing with Lewis. I do the same thing. And it's so great to have those moments. And there's something to cherish. It's really it's really a centralizing feeling. Yeah. To be able to do that. And it, like I said, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Now, don't just go leaning on everybody. Yeah. Trying to match your breath to them. But, because that could get weird. That's going to be uncomfortable silence. Uncomfortable silence. But, just be mindful of those things that are happening. Body language, eye contact.
The gestures you get.
Breathing, gestures. The topic of conversations, how people respond to things. And I'm not saying overthink things. That is not what I'm saying at all. Because some of you may take that and be like, oh, she wants me to overthink everything.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, no, he's not breathing because he hates me. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be mindful and enjoy those moments of just being with that person or that friend or coworker, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I think that that's a good segment to end on. It really kind of just closes the whole door to the mindfulness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of wrapped up to the beginning of the episode.
So we're so glad to be able to share these experiences with y'all. If y'all have any experiences that you want us to know, let us know in the comments down below.
I feel so bad. Sorry, Jennifer, I bombed all those questions. I want to know what you remember. I need to have you onto the podcast. We
That would be
so
great.
much to share. I remember. Oh gosh, we were such good friends. I hate that we're not so close.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember going to the movie theater with her, and I don't remember who all went. We went to the movie theater and we bought tickets for a different movie and snuck into the adult movie.
Oh my gosh, y'all bad kids.
Yeah, no, we really yeah.
Bad kids.
Yeah. So we snuck into the movie theater. Sue us. And it was, we went to see The Other Woman. Like, it wasn't even a bad movie.
Oh.
But yeah, and then we went to the mall, I think. I don't know, that was a good time. That was a good time.
Well, anyway, yeah, let us know down below.
You gotta tell me, I need to know what I missed.
Yeah, so with that being said, while you're down there, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And right next to that, hit that bell notification icon so you can get notified every time we upload a video every Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time. And with that being said, we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.